Who are you fighting against? Donald Trump, bum bum ba, and Jared Taylor. Why does he make such a good villain? Well, he looks kind of villainous. He looks like a smart, rich James Bond villain. If you saw Jared Taylor petting a cat in a swivel chair with one of his legs draped over the other, I mean, put him in a turtleneck. That's a Bond villain, right? Let's see. I mean, why is he such a perfect storm to become this straw man that people can attack? Well, he's white, he's rich, and he speaks about race. He's got a good education. The man went to Yale University. Not just went, he graduated with a degree in philosophy. He then went and got a master's from the Paris Institute of Political Studies. The man has traveled the world, used to live in Japan, and has been doing this for like 35 years. I've watched many a Jared Taylor video, and every time I've seen him speak, he's impressed me. People try to entrap him. They try to make him walk into these pits where, aha, we got you, Jared. You said something. That's our headline. We're going to run it. You said a naughty. And he sees it coming from a mile away, and he just dances circles around them. I remember looking into him originally going, I'm sure this guy has some dark side to him. I mean, there must be something here. Everybody talks about him like he's on the High Council of Nazis or something. He's nothing like that. In fact, I think he's brave, because Jared Taylor has been saying this stuff way before YouTube, way before the internet, really. And it's commendable. So I know many of you out there probably just have this weird feeling, I'm supposed to not like Jared Taylor. Sam Harris doesn't like Jared Taylor. Sam Harris would never talk to Jared Taylor. Why? Not really because he's probably listened to what Jared Taylor has to say, but because he knows he's not supposed to like Jared Taylor. The same reason he never talked to Charles Murray is the reason he's not currently talking to Jared Taylor. Have you ever seen American History X? In that movie, it takes place in Los Angeles, Venice Beach. You have a bunch of neo-Nazis, and they're kind of thugs, they're low class, they're white kids. A couple of them have the swastika tats, all that. They were led by an elder man, white guy, who was kind of an old school neo-Nazi. He was a generation or two before, but he looked the part. I mean, he owned a home, he was part of the community, he wasn't out in the street beating people up, and he wasn't getting tats. And in that movie, he represented the intellectual base, the root of this horrible white supremacy. That's who people think Jared Taylor is. But he's not. They want him to be, but he's not. Can we please, I'll do some reaction videos to Jared Taylor in the future, but for starters, for my opening salvo here in talking about Jared Taylor, can we please laugh at the Wikipedia entry here for him? Who wrote this? And how is this standing? It is absolutely ridiculous what they're saying about him. Let's read. Samuel Jared Taylor, born September 15th, 1951, is an American white supremacist. Boom. No, he's not. No, he is not. So I'll start by saying, if you ask Jared Taylor, are you a white supremacist? He says no. So somebody's wrong. I mean, it's a claim, right? He's a white supremacist. He says he's not. If I say to you, you're a fan of Arsenal, and you go, no, I'm not. I'm a fan of Chelsea. Well, it says here in your Wikipedia you're a fan of Arsenal. Well, I'm not. I'm telling you I am not the thing that it says I am. It's a straight up smear and a complete lie. This leads to the larger point, which is, are you allowed to be pro-white? What he calls being a white advocate. Of course, you're allowed to be an advocate for every other race. You're allowed to be an ally to advocates of other races. But to be a white anything, in their minds, just means you're a white supremacist. Oh, you started the white student union? You're a white supremacist. Oh, you have an all-white group of whatever? Oh, you're a white supremacist. It's the same mistake they make when they say America is a white supremacist nation. No, it's a white majority. You understand you can have a white majority without being white supremacist, right? I mean, just think of the concept. You know, we have 2 cats and 1 dog. Oh, so it's a feline supremacist house you have? Is that right? No, it's not a feline supremacist. It's just we happen to have 2 cats and 1 dog. Oh, so the cats oppress the dog? No. Let's continue. He's the founder and editor of American Renaissance, a white nationalist online magazine. Taylor is also an author of, and by the way, white nationalist, again, another slur. Most people hear white nationalist, they think that's a slur. Now, I am in favor of white nations. Are you? You probably live in one. There's about a 90% chance you live in one. So it's a little bit weird that you're living there, you're happy to be there, but you're against white nations? The best nations on earth are white nations. Outside of Japan and Korea, every nation is white. Now, if you slide out of that bracket, if you are no longer a white nation, you're going to slide out of being one of the best nations on earth. You know that, right? You know that's not just a random coincidence that the best nations on earth are white. So I think it's utterly logical to want to hold on to a majority of white people in a given country. I mean, let's get real here. That's what you do in your personal life, in your love life, in your friend circles, in the town you live in the part of the town you live in. That's how you dictate your life. But when we talk about the same exact phenomenon as a nation, you freak out? And you, oh, no, what, me, what, who, no. White nation, huh? White, nothing? Oh, no, I just go along with the flow. Whatever happens, let's just witness history, just slide by us, do nothing.
もう何でもかんでも人種の問題になってしまうんですよ。だから日本はですね、頑張ってくださいよ。移民いっぱい入れるとですね、それは力の源泉ではなくて、すごくなんか問題とか衝突の源泉になりますよ。
テイラーさんの主張というのは、アメリカを日本のようにするってことなんですか？
まあそうですね。白人がこのまま続くと、白人が少数民族になる。
1950年代にアメリカの連邦最高裁判所の判断で隔離すれど平等という判決がありましたよね、それと同じようなことをおっしゃってるってことなんでしょうか。つまり白人も黒人もそれぞれ別々に暮らしましょう、平等だけど別々に暮らせばいいですよねっていうことに対する反対の公民権運動っていうのが起きていったわけですけれども、
今現在のアメリカもですね、ある程度そういうふうになってますよ。黒人街ってどうしてあるんでしょうか。どうしてリットル東京とかそういうところがあるんでしょうか。やっぱりほとんどの人はですね、自分と同じような考え方と生き方と一緒に住みたいからなんです。白人の本音もそうなんですよ。いろんなミックスのところで住みたい人であればそれどうぞやってください。それは私は別に結構なんです。だけど白人としてやっぱり白人の文化と白人街、白人が大半であるような学校に子供を通わせたいっていう人があれば、それ非難しないでくださいってことなんです。で、黒人もそうであればいいし、アジア人もヒスパニックもそうであるんです。
家の警備がこれだけ厳しいのっていうのはどうしてなんですか？
こういうことを言ってると非常に非難されますから。で、嫌がらせと脅迫が厳しいから警備してます。
どんな嫌がらせがあるんですか？
電話かけてきたりですね、メールでですね、お前たち殺すぞとかですね、
家にも来るんですか？
家に来ます。はい。
それはどういうそれこそ人種の人たちなんですか？
わからない。ほとんど白人でしょう。
白人の人が嫌がらせに。
私に言ってることを批判するのはほとんどは白人です。黒人に対してですね、私白人としての意識はこうである説明すると、なるほどって言うんですよ。黒人も黒人意識があるんですから。ヒスパニックもそうですよ。一番理解してくれないのが白人。
つまりそういう白人の人たちは、いやいやそもそもそういう人種差別をしちゃいけないんだと、そういう人たちがだからこう反発するわけですね。
そういうことなの。それは不思議ですね。
お話ずっと聞いてると、そういう考え方もあるんだっていうふうに思わされてしまう部分もちょっとありました。話を聞いているうちにどんどん自分のうなずく回数が増えてきたような気がしちゃったんですけど、そうか